Well, happy Sunday morning, everyone. Welcome to the program. And I see that we've already got some of you over in the chat room. Welcome. For those of you who might be new here, Sunday mornings is just an informal version of the Intrepid radio program. We're not broadcasting on the airwaves over on the radio station. This is just a time where we can come in and talk informally and casually. I'm Scotty Roberts, your host, if you don't know that already, and welcome to the program. Rainey is usually with me on Sunday mornings. Well, let me back that up. That's kind of a little bit of a misnomer. She's not quite with me as much as she used to be on Sunday mornings. And that's not for any other reason that she just got other things she's doing. Right now, she's still sleeping. So she has a handful with the things that she does with the kids. She's constantly running, constantly doing, constantly up. I know the kids were all up again late last night, and they were all doing stuff. And Rainy, not so much a fight last night, but sometimes it's just a fight getting them to bed. Do you remember what it was like when you were a kid, and mom or dad had to come in 5, 6, 7 times, tell you, you know what? I want you to go to sleep. If I got to come in here again, remember Bill Cosby? I'm bringing the belt. Of course, you can't say that anymore. Can't joke that way anymore. But that's the way it is sometimes. I actually told my young 8-year-old daughter the other night. Now, see what you'd think if you heard me say this to you. If I looked you in the eyes and said, if I hear you scream one more time, I am going to tie your limbs to 4 different horses and have them run in opposite directions. And if the lump of your body is still alive, I'm going to tuck you into bed and you will sleep the rest of the night without making a sound. So sometimes you got to threaten them. So that's just the way it is. And so last night, I think went pretty well. You know, there are times when I noticed my 8-year-old really hates me, and there's times where she really loves me and she's just abundant. And those are kind of those nice moments. I do something for my kid. I will, um, Dad, will you print off coloring book pages for me off the computer? And that means I got to go to like Disney or something like that, some of the cartoons she watches, and look up coloring book pages, which if you bought them offline, they would cost you $5-6 a piece for a page. It's like, I ain't paying $5 or $6 for a coloring book page. I can import it into Photoshop and print it myself. So I printed her out a bunch of pages yesterday. And, she's got this upcoming surgery. And so we've been kind of gentle with her ankle and stuff like that. And so, my little girl, as a result of just those little tiny bits, those moments of time, my little girl will, I love you, Dad. I love you too. And, you only see them here, the brief moments they come and invade my show when they're not supposed to. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's fun, sometimes we call them familial interruptions, other times they're a pain in the ass. And it's like, look, I told you not to come in during the show tonight, or when they come in when I'm in the middle of a salient point. And yesterday she was that way. She went to the store with Mom. I'm down here working because, yes, we even work on Saturdays, we self-employed people. And we got a ton of stuff. Rainey and I are in a big project. So just a ton of stuff going on. And so I'm down here and I hear her at the top of the stairs, bye, Dad. I love you. I go, I love you too. And so they're just going to the store and they'll be back. They went to ride to pick up Rowan from a friend's house. And bye, Dad. I love you. And so that's the amazing part of that. And so I really try to, how are you with your kids? How do you remember your parents being with you? I don't want to just be the disciplinarian or the one who's always yelling at my kids. It's like, God damn it, I told you to clean this up. Why is it still a mess? Why is there a pile here? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? The big infraction things, it's the kitchen. The kids have chores to do every day. Do they do them every day? Hell no. We got to ride him. And I think back, and I have to stop and ask my mom sometimes, did we do things that way? I have this memory of being respectful to what my mom said. Now, did I ever whine about it or go, oh God, I don't want to have to do that? Yeah. But did I do it? Yeah. Like, for instance, if I didn't do the dishes when I was a teenager, if I didn't do the dishes, and my mom, who worked late nights, she was a waitress. She would come home between midnight and 2 o'clock, depending on, sometimes she waitressed in the bar and the bars were open late. And she'd come home, and if I hadn't done my chore, guess who got woken up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning out of a cold, hard sleep and said, hey, you need to go out and do your chore. I don't like coming home to you having not done what you're supposed to do every day. And that's the conversation with my kids. Oh, I forgot to do the dishes. It's like, how can you forget something you're supposed to be doing every day? Oh, that's right. You don't do it every day. So Rainey has gotten to where she's done chore charts and she tapes them to their bedroom doors. And that's where they stay. And they have to check off. She's got the week laid out. They got to check off their chores. That's how they get computer time or phone time or device time or whatever. So, but I have to be the disciplinarian a lot. I hear them up there screaming and Rainey's yelling at the kids and they're all screaming. The 8-year-old is the master of scream. I mean, everything is a fever pitch. And she's not even hormonal yet. The 11-year-old is starting to get hormonal. We did dinner the other night, and we don't always sit around the table. I like sitting around the table as a family, but I probably put a wet blanket over it all because the first thing I did, I told the kids, hey, guys, come on over here and clean off this table. Get it cleared off, put stuff away, and set the table. And it wasn't a big, glorious meal. I made hamburgers. And so they cleaned off the table, begrudgingly. I'm like, come on, guys, just do it. Let's have fun. But they're all bickering with each other. I was supposed to put that out. I'm putting the ketchup out. Why did you grab the ketchup? I'm supposed to do that part. And so it's nutty. And then Rowan came in and was not happy. She didn't want to have to come and sit down with the family for dinner at age 11. None of them really do. They'd rather take their food and go to their room and watch something, watch a video. And it's like, just shut that stuff off for a while. Let's sit around the table. Well, then Rowan got all upset and she didn't want to have to join the. So she's sitting not in a chair like this. She's crouched up on the chair, her feet on the chair with her butt, and she's sitting like this. Doesn't want to participate in family dinner. And I'm like, are you okay? Yes. Rainey would say, what's up, Rowan? Nothing. You ever notice from teenagers, 1 or 2 syllable words turn into 3, 4, and 5 syllable words? Nothing. Pardon my cold. I still have it. Rainey actually said to me last night, she said, you're wheezing. You need to go and see the doctor. I said, well, I wheeze all the time. So I've been wheezing for 2 weeks. So hopefully I'll probably go in and see my doc tomorrow. I've got a inhaler around here somewhere, but I can't find it. And it's probably expired if I do. So anyway, all of that to say, sometimes I have to be the dad who is constantly, and then at the end of some days, I feel like I haven't had any decent, warm conversations with my kids today. They're all in bed now. It's quiet. And I think back on my day and I go, all I've done is yell at them today. But it's usually for, hey, who had the bowl of cereal and spilled it all over the counter and didn't wipe it up? Or who made this thing over here and cooked something and it slopped all over in the stove and in the burner. Now, I understand you can't wipe off a burner when it's still hot. You got to let it cool down. But it's all in the burners and it's all over everything. And there's slop all over here. And then all the packaging that they use to make whatever they made, it's ripped up. It's all over the counter. Not 4 feet over here where the garbage can is. And so, and then the living room, it's constant. The other day, I'm walking from the bathroom down the hallway into the living room, to turn the corner, go back downstairs. I tripped over a book bag. I tripped over clothes. I rounded the corner. I trip over some big plastic tray that somebody left on the floor. Laundry, which was sitting. I don't know if you guys have problems with laundry. We do. Laundry sitting in the 2 chairs we have in the living room. Not the big easy chairs or the sofa, but over on the far end of the living room, we have like 2 really nice upholstered, they're like dining room chairs that sit in with the bookshelf in the middle. And they're always packed full of clothes. And we're like, hey, everybody, come and get your clothes, fold them, hang them up. Mom and dad are not the Chinese laundry service. Oh, a racist would say. But you know what I mean, the old laundry services. And I said, we're not your laundry service. We'll wash it. We teach them how to use the washer and dryer. Every now and then they'll do that if they want something. But I feel at the end of the day, like, okay, I've yelled at them for food on the counter. I've yelled at them for not washing their own dishes, because that's the rule. If you use a dish, you wash your dish. Put it on the drying rack. And they don't do that. Yes, we have a dishwasher, but it's not working. One of these days, we'll fork up the $200 to get that fixed. So, it's been sitting for 3 months, not working. So we just wash dishes the way I did when I was a kid. Soap, a sponge, rinse them, set them in the drying rack. But we tell everybody, and they all complain. Oh my God, you'd think the lamenting, the weeping, the wailing, the gnashing of teeth to, oh, hey, it's time to do the dishes tonight, guys. And it's like, I get to wash this time because you washed last time, and I don't have to dry and put them away. And it's just on, and the bicker never ends. It's like, guys, can you just enjoy the task? Do you know the best time I ever have with Flynn doing dishes, even though he does it's when I go do them with him. I'm like, come on. I said, and sometimes Raini and I, we know how to wash dishes. We just sometimes don't, because it's their chore and they're welshing on their deal. And so we let them sit. And they'll sit for a couple of days and start stacking up pots and pans. And after a while, some days when they're gone at school, I said, I got to break down and wash some dishes because they did not do their chore again 2 nights in a row. And I don't know what we're doing. We're not just sitting passively by with our thumbs in anatomically unlikely locales, waiting to encourage them. Let me encourage you to go do your chore. No, we're doing other stuff. We're busy people. So there it is. Yeah, Carlene, I need to do something like that. Breathe easy teas and use honey. It helps. Yeah, I got to do that. And rum. Uncle Dave is over there pointing his finger at me in the camera screen. You just wait till I'm done with my monologue, Uncle Dave. But he's got some good input, I'm sure, because he knows my family really well. So let's bring him in. Let's get him in here. Anyway, my whole point with that is that there are days I look back on the day and I said, all I've done is yell at my kids today because we haven't had a moment to not do that. So I try to do that. So I do that with Flynn. I spend time with him, and then they want to be around you all the time. So, hey, Dad, I want you to see this thing. And hey, come here and look at this video. That's Ellery. Look at this cute video of this dog. It's like, oh, that's really cute. I love you, Dad. I love you too. Go ahead, Dave.
First of all, the other morning when you're tripping over everything, because you're a klutz.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm a klutz. Yeah, no, or I'm heading for the coffee, and I look down, and I can't see floor, and I got to step over it. Then dumb cat jumps in between my legs and starts running because he wants me to feed him again. It's like, cat, that's the first thing in the morning. I go upstairs to make coffee. The cat sits there. Meow, meow. It's like, dude, go eat your food. There's still food in your dish. So
more importantly,
mixed
your
with
cough, and you're wheezing. Get checked out for long COVID.
Yeah, I should. I don't have COVID. We tested for
long
that
COVID.
a long time ago.
Long COVID. It settles into your lungs. Check that out.
I have had that going on, but I'm sniffly too. I'm sniffly.
But
sorry to be gross. I'm sniffly and loogie. It's just like every 2 minutes I'm turning around. I got to blow my nose, and it's like, what the hell? Where's that coming from? Where's the way that's being manufactured every minute? And I cough. I feel the rattle at night is when it hits me. I'm laying there in bed, and I'll take a breath in, and it wakes me up.
All the fluid
like
settles.
And it's like I got to sit up and cough.
So back in the day when I was in school and doing the rep company and all that stuff, I developed this cold and I ignored it, and it sort of went away, but then sort of never really went away. And finally one day, one of the directors said, go over to the health center and find out what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and they come in, they've done all these tests, and he goes, well, you have pneumonia. You have a walking pneumonia. He goes, you got to take like 3 weeks off and just like lay in bed and blah, blah. And I'm like,
3 weeks off.
I'm like, how the hell is that even possible? I'm not going to do anything for 3 weeks.
Really.
I'm in the middle of finals. I'm working the rep company. I've got this, and this.
Wouldn't it be kind of nice if life worked like the remote for your TV? Pause. Yeah. Oh, I don't want the kid channel today. Pause.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, it can develop into something super serious. Don't ignore it. Check it out.
I'm going to go see my doc. I'm going to call them tomorrow, make an appointment. Say, look, you can't schedule me for 3 weeks out. I might be dead by then. So why don't you try to rush me in there somewhere?
Yeah. And what he'll probably do is say, do you have kids? And you'll say, yeah. Have you been yelling at them a lot? Yeah. All right. Stop yelling at them.
There you go. Stop yelling at your kids. Roger Rabbit says it's almost surreal to me to hear about all this normal kid stuff, because with Kinsey, their life is so different.
Oh, yeah.
I love hearing these stories. It may help bring balance to my mind within my unusual life. Yeah. Sorry, Roger, about that. And I know you take it in stride, and man, you've got a handful. I get it. You and your wife, Carly, you've got a handful. So, meaning what you have to deal with there is very different from what most normal people have to deal with. So, I feel for you, brother. I'm there with you. So, this is normal stories, I guess. Carlene says she has the horrible cough as well. Susie said, ew. I'm not sure what the ew was for. Was it talking about coughing up lugs? And the funny thing is, what do doctors tell you? And what do we all know? My doc will always say, oh, you're coughing stuff up. What color is it? I'm like, well, I didn't really pay attention to the color.
You don't pay attention to it?
That's important. I do. I said, it's pretty much just clear. I mean, it's lug. It's big mouthful of lug. And then you're like, I just coughed up a lungful of lug that's clear, white. It's not infectious looking, but into my mouth.
It's the color of this green screen.
Yeah, it's a color like that. It would disappear on camera. No, so it's been
sort of a
normal.
Chartreuse.
I'm just creating all kinds of phlegm, and I hate that. I was never good when I was a kid. All my friends, it was so cool. They weren't sick or anything, but they could cough up lugs if they wanted to. They're like, we'd stand on the bridge and they go, watch this. And they spit out this big wad down onto the cars underneath. And I'm like, I could never do that. I can't do it. Even now, I cough and you feel that big, huge wad of bilious, slimy bile come up in the back of your throat, and I can never work it out. And it's like goes back down. It's like she's not good at it. But every now and then it does it.
We understand. You're a swallower.
We realize you can't cough up lugs. We'll just do it for you. And it goes, and you're like, oh, I was with a bunch of people last weekend when we were off filming.
I don't know if I want to hear this story.
And we were just standing there talking and went like that. And then it hit again. And it's like, it's all over my sleeve. And I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus. I said, Jimmy laughs. He goes, oh, you got a little extra there that time. Yeah. I said, yeah, I'll be right back. I had to go take care of that. It's like the body is an amazing thing when you think about it. The biology of the body, especially when you
chemistry
get
lab
sick and you got to do stuff like that. So Roger says, I have a cough that creeps up on me in the evenings. Feels like something's going to break free, but I can't ever clear it. That's it. I have these coughing jags with this cold, whatever it is, that I sit up in bed at night and I cough and cough and cough. You can feel it, but nothing happens. There's no expression. And until I finally cough myself almost into unconsciousness before it clears and you go, there, now I can lay back down. And I get this weird claustrophobic thing in my head. When I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm rattling, I can't sleep. It's like claustrophobic. I got to sit up. So anyway, so there it is, folks. There's the ins and outs of having a cold and phlegm. I'll bet you were this morning about a half an hour ago. Wow, I can't wait for Sunday morning coffee with Scotty and Raini because we're going to talk about body fluids. Not the good kind. There are good body fluids.
Yeah. It is what it is. You're a swallower, not a spitter. It is.
That's right. So, and Rainey's pretty good about it. But when I'm sick like this, she's sick too. She's got the same thing, but she doesn't have the cough, the same kind of cough as I do. And she's got the same thing. It's been going around. The kids keep passing it around the house. But what happens with kids? Kids will bring it home for a day. They'll go, and then they're fine. And it's like an adult gets it. You got it for a week or more. And you're like, oh my God. And
you're in that senior state where the immune deficiency is happening. So
yeah, there it is. Great. That's just great. Vitamins and all that stuff. But Rainey, even my lovely wife, she's like, okay, I'm heading out now. I'm going to the store. And she leans in to kiss me. And then she goes, she goes, I don't want to kiss your lips. I say, well, I lubed on my cheek, so you're okay. Morgan Snow says, sometimes I cough so hard that I throw up. I've been that way. There's a couple of times it's hit me that way in the last couple of weeks. You go,
Carlene.
Hey, Carlene.
She's making corned beef.
It's corned beef.
What time is dinner?
Time is coming up. That's not really an Irish dish, I heard.
I know it's not. No, it actually. So the origins that I heard on it, back in the day, early radio days, there was a guy and he'd come across. He was a radio guy. Came through what's the area down where they did in New York, the Bowery, where they did the gangs in New York.
Oh yeah, the 5 Points area.
5 Points area. Anyways, he had to cross through there apparently, and he said, "Gosh, I don't know what they're doing down there, but it smells like they're all cooking corned beef and cabbage."
Oh,
and and all those Irish folk went, "Oh, that sounds good."
Cabbage together?
Apparently, that's how it started.
I've never boiled meat with cabbage before. It sounds grand.
But that's what I heard in the origins of corned beef and cabbages. It wasn't a traditional
Daniel Ondra.
Something they all picked up on.
Daniel, do you pronounce your name with a long O, Ondra, or is it Andra, a short O? I always say Daniel Ondra. Ondra.
Yeah, you're asking how's he going to write that out there? Well, I suppose he could phonetically spell it for us.
Yeah, it's like short O, Andra. There you go.
Speaking of Daniels,
yes.
Do you remember Daniel from back in the Scotch and Cookie days?
Yeah,
used to hang out at the house all the time.
Yep. Then he ended up hating me
him
for
at
some
one of these
reason.
Viking things I do.
What's that?
I ran into him at one of the Viking things I do.
Oh, cool. Well,
I hadn't
I know
seen
he's
him for
got
the
like
longest
10
time.
kids now or something. So
he is with somebody. Yeah. So
I yelled up his old girlfriend once, and he got all mad at me and hasn't talked to me since. So
well, he asked how you were doing.
Oh, well, that's kind of nice. Well, he's grown up a little bit since then.
Yeah.
See, when he was at Scotch and Cookies, he was a 20-something.
Yeah.
Didn't he used to date KJ, who's now
I believe he did for a while.
Married to another friend of ours, Sean Holt. They've been married for a long time.
Yeah. Who's also a big Vikings.
Yes,
guy.
yes. So, I think Daniel talks with Wendy, or used to.
I'm going to have to put you on hold. I got to take care of a familial duty here.
I'll see if I can live without you. I'll put you on remove until you're back. All right. So, yeah, we've got old friends. You all got old friends. You know how that goes. Scotch and Cookies. We had people that were in their 20s, people that were in their 40s that would come. I was in my 40s. And that's really where I Raini and I the very first inklings of relationship start, because she kept coming over to Scotch and Cookies. And I didn't really know her very well. I knew her friend Kat, who brought Raini along, and Raini would always show up with her little Chihuahua. And for about a year before we actually started hanging out. I say hanging out because saying dating, we didn't officially date. It wasn't like we were courting. We started hanging out. We had a good time together, and we hung out all the time. And she basically was at my house 4 or 5 nights a week, almost living in my house. She owned a house somewhere else, and another part of town. And so, and that developed into, well, what we have now. So, but yeah, it's fun. I love my wife, and I love being married to her. So, sometimes she's a trip and a half. Sometimes she's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's like, can I send you off to another world? So anyway, Carlene, you're making enough for an army. Oh, that's all right. It's always better to have more than to not have enough. That's the way I cook when I cook. So, oh, your last name is Hebrew, Andra. I did not know that, Daniel. So do you have heritage in your family then, obviously? Jewish heritage? Interesting. Daniel, Andra. I wouldn't have recognized Andra as being Hebrew. So, even though I took Hebrew in seminary, I don't remember a single thing about it. So, it's foreign language to me. High five, says Roger Rabbit, for loving our wives. Damn straight, brother. I don't think, it's not that there aren't other places or other people you imagine. Oh, I wonder what life would have been like with her. What if I had gone that way instead of that way? There's times all of us that have spouses or long-term significant others, whatever you want to say. All of us that have long-term spouses, and by long-term, I mean more than a year or two, pushing 18 years with Raini. And when you have that long-term person in your life, let's just call it spouse. I'm not going to pussyfoot around it. There are times where you're like, oh, it could have been so different if I'd gone that other way, or stayed single. You have your moments where you're like, damn it. Like for me, I'm 62 years old. Still can't do shit right. Nothing I do is right. And I gotta always, I feel like a 62-year-old man who is a child. It's like, I gotta get permission to go places. I gotta be accountable for my money spending. I gotta be accountable for my work time. I gotta be all of this stuff. And it's like, wow, I used to be a single bachelor who wrangled things pretty well. But that was a long time ago. But then there's those moments in marriage where you're like, I stop and I think, I couldn't live without Rainey. Well, I could. You manage, but you manage. But I wouldn't want to. That's the bottom line. I wouldn't want to. I couldn't imagine. You get those morbid thoughts sometimes, like, Rainey's got this thyroid thing going on. Potential of cancer with it. And I remember she first told me about that. Well, the doc said there's, I got to go in 6 months. I got to check it again. And they want to take like half my thyroid out or something like that. And I guess I hear that's not an uncommon thing, but they do it because there's that potential of cancer. And so she comes back from the doctor. She tells me this. Man, I tear up. I'm like, and she's like, oh, what's the matter? Like she doesn't know. I'm like, sorry. I said, I don't even like hearing that. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to have to go through that with a spouse, with somebody that you love. And that, yeah, Morgan, I get that. Sometimes she says, I wonder how my life would have been had I stayed in Germany. I wonder that too. Don't we all wonder that? Switching gears a little bit back to that. What if I had stayed in the Marine Corps and taken that offer to work in their ad agency back when I was 24 years old? What if I had done that instead of when they said, hey, we got to release you, the back thing. And we got to release you. And so it took them about a month to get me signed out. And that's when I did that. I told that story. I did the mural on the wall. And the Major Ford came by and said, I'll waiver the rest of your basic training. We'll bring you in as a first lieutenant. And you can work. I can pull some strings and get you into our ad department in Washington, D.C. You look at that now and you go, for a 24-year-old, have a non-combative role in the military, kind of a guaranteed job as long as you don't screw up, and working in advertising. That would have been in the era where just a few years after that, they were started doing all those flashy computer-generated ads, which was very cool from the Marine Corps. And so I would have been in on that kind of thing. And what if I had chosen that route instead of the route I decided to? I thanked him and I said, well, I've already got a job lined up back home. And that job was my first position as an art director for a little ad shop in Minneapolis. And so that was very cool. I had this great job lined up. I couldn't do the military thing. And so I went back home and took that. What if I had turned that offer down and decided to stay with the military? Now, that was 40 years ago, 39 years ago. It was 2004. I'm sorry, not 2000, 84. 1984 was when I got home. It was 83 or 84. I was 22 going on 23. So it would have been 83. So that was 40 years ago. Jeez. Passage of time. But feasibly, I could have retired on a pension from the military 20 years ago. Hey, Andrew Specht. Good to see you. Good morning to you as well. I saw some other people. I haven't said good morning to people. Daniel, I saw you. Roger Rabbit, I've talked to already. Carlene, I've talked to. Morgan Snow. Susie Q. If I didn't say good morning, welcome to you. Always bright, sunshiny to see your face. Let's see who else we got in here today. I got to scroll back. Chief Remeldian Olympus is here. I always want to echo when I say your name. Let's see. Deborah Sloan is here. Hey, good morning, Deborah, if you're still here. I didn't say good morning when you came in, I hope you stuck around and you're still here. Good to see you. And Anita Palmer is here. Good to see you. There's nothing as wonderful as an unexpected hug from your child, no matter what the age. Isn't that the truth, Anita? That is the damnedest truth there is. And I love that. And I got that all day yesterday from Ellery. So she has to have surgery, by the way, on Tuesday on her ankle. She's got some kind of weird thing going on with her bone, and she broke it 3 years ago during COVID, and they didn't catch it right away because we thought she just twisted her ankle, and she was running around on it and all that. So there's a little bone in there that they've got to do surgery and take out this. The ligaments keep wrapping around a chip of bone or something. They got to take it out. So now they say she has something like that on her right ankle too. So we don't know. But so she's getting all prepped. Mom got her bedroom all re-prepped for it upstairs, so she doesn't have to use the stairs. She likes to sleep down here in the family room on the extra beds down here. And so Mom's got that all set up for her. And so she'll be all set up there. So she doesn't have to navigate the stairs so much. Let's see. Joseph Andrassi is here this morning. Hey, brother Joe from way back. Were we friends on MySpace before Facebook? I can't remember. Or was it Facebook when we first started that? So I've known Joe for a long time, 13 years or more. Good to see you in here, brother. Beth Kirkham is here. Good morning. I mentioned you at some point in here, but I'm glad you're here, Beth. Good to have you. And going back, Elderberry is here. He always texts me on Sunday morning. Good morning, Scotty. Make sure I'm awake. So I was awake. I was up making coffee and picking up laundry laying around the house, towels. I asked a kid yesterday, hey, will you go up in the hallway and pick up all the towels spread from your bedroom to your sister's bedroom, all the way down the hall and laying in the living room and on the floor in the bathroom and everything. Gather those all up, will you, and just throw them in the laundry room. Oh, Dad. I said, it's easy. Well, I went up at about, because the bedroom's down here. I'm working late. And then I get up. I go upstairs. Everybody's in bed. And there's towels. Didn't get picked up. So I walk down the hall and grumbly. And I picked up all the towels. So it's the way it is around here. It's the way it is. And who else is here? Philip Blair is here this morning. You are in very early. Looks like if you're still here and hanging out. Sending best wishes for your daughter's upcoming surgery and prayers for a speedy recovery. Thank you, Anita. Yeah, I think it's going to be, when you're 8, healing time is probably minimal. But they're definitely going in and cutting open her ankle and cutting off a piece of bone and sewing her back up. And so she'll be on crutches for a week or so at least. So I think she'll do okay. And but she feels real tuned in lately. It's like, Dad, I know I'm going in for surgery, and she doesn't have to talk about it, but I know you care about me and I love you. And that's the way she's been the last few days because we're prepping for it and getting her prepped for it. Hey, going in for surgery is fun. I told her I did it once. She goes, yeah, you still got the scar. They pulled your whole chest open. I said, yeah. I said, it's just a little thing on your ankle, so you'll be good. And they might put you to sleep, I said even. Stopped at post 111, said Andrew Speck. You were in my town the other day? Andrew, where do you live right now? What town do you live in? You were in Somerset or Minneapolis area? And what brought you here? Just curious. So, looks like Uncle Dave is still doing something over there. His icon is still up on his thing. So, anyway, I want to show you guys something. I've been messing around with for the last several months with AI, creating images with AI. You see them all the time. I use them for the headers for the shows. I just think it's fun. I've used AI for some projects for clients because it saves me a lot of time. When I'm doing my art, I'll sit down and paint. Now, you all know I paint. I illustrate. I'm an illustrator. I have been for 45 years. 40 years, technically, since the Marine Corps thing. So I've been doing that. I illustrate books and all of that. But there are times where you get jobs in and you're like, I can't get my going rate on this. If I do, they'll go use somebody else. It's that competitive out here. So there are times where I say, oh, this artwork that I would charge $600 for, I got to charge $250 or $300. That's all they got in their budget. So I'll push them sometimes. Say, if you can do 3, we'll do it. I got 3, we'll do it. So, so I sometimes do projects with the AI. But I was doing, when we started doing the Amenhotep II series the last couple of weeks on the radio show, I was using AI. I wanted to find out what is AI? Well, how are they going to interpret the Pharaoh of the Exodus? So I would put in criteria. I'd put Amenhotep II. And I figure AI, when it generates an image, it pulls off of, where is this? I just saved it. It pulls off of date last open, date added. Let's try that. There it is. Okay, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to show this to you because I think it's really cool. But I did all these images of trying to find, and one thing I found, it couldn't figure out how to interpret a pharaoh of the Exodus or historical. But there's Ellery. Hi. Did I roll over your toes?
You're talking too loud. I can hear you up there.
Where, in the living room or the bedroom?
Bedroom.
Really? How you doing?
Good.
Good. Is Mom awake?
I don't know.
You don't know? She slept with her last night. I spank your butt because it's there. What? But? Okay. Why don't you go do your thing? Say hi to everybody.
No.
I told them about your surgery coming up.
This is what I'm wearing.
Oh, she's going to wear this outfit. She went and got this outfit at the store with Mom yesterday to have a cool outfit to wear for surgery.
These are pajamas.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be in bed. They don't let you get up and walk around right away after surgery.
They put me in a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair. That's to cart you around. They'll probably keep you in your bed and roll the whole bed into surgery. That's my guess. But then again, I don't think you're going to be staying overnight at the hospital. I don't think so. Not for this. So I'm pretty sure, though, I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it.
They might let me sleep.
They might let you sleep. So. Oh, there's Uncle Dave. Why don't you click on him for me because the mouse is over there. Add to stream. There he is.
Hey, Ellery.
Hi.
When is your surgery?
Thursday.
Oh, I thought it was Tuesday.
No.
Here, I got to save this. Hold on.
Well.
So, anyway, I was talking about.
On?
Go ahead, Dave.
What are you getting operated on?
What are they going to do to you? Dave wants to know.
They're removing my bone.
They're removing my bone.
All your bones? Well,
No.
you'll be
all
a
of them. Then
sloppy
we
mess
can at
dad.
night, instead of tucking her into bed, we can roll her up.
Yeah, just
Set her
roll
on
her
a
up,
pillow.
stick her on the shelf. Maybe we get you a nice little basket we can pour you into.
Yeah, we'll pour you into a basket.
No.
No, you don't like that idea?
No.
What
No.
are they going to replace your bone with?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I bet they're going to put something there.
They're not going to put anything in there. I think it's just a shard, and they're just taking out the shard.
Oh,
so but it was interesting because
they left my shard in. When I broke my ankle, they left my shard in, and it moves around every once in a while.
Yeah, I think it might be the same kind of thing, because they said it moves around in there, and the ligaments get grown into it or tangled into it.
It locks it up. I have to do some stuff to.
Roger Rabbit wants to know if they're replacing your bones with doggy bones. We've got this great dog bone we're going to put into your leg. Do you know they do that with organs or with stuff? They sometimes put like pig bones in you or pig tissue.
They're just gonna
pig parts.
stitch me. They're just gonna take it out and give me stitches.
Stitches. How many stitches do you think they're going to put on there?
Maybe
I bet they do 4.
Maybe like 4 or 5.
I bet they make it just a tiny little cut to get that out.
I think so. I think that's all they're going to do.
They make a tiny little cut and then they squeeze it until it pops out.
Hi there, Ellery.
Hi.
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 Hey, Grumpy Stack. Good to see you, brother. Grumpy, says Deborah Sloan.
There's something on my nose. Right?
Ooh,
on my nose.
I could get you a peg leg.
There's something in my nose.
Oh, I could get you a peg leg, Ellery.
What, you're going on my phone now?
You could be Peg the pirate.
Dave says he can get you a peg leg and you can be a pirate.
No.
He'll get you
Peg the pirate.
He'll get you your parakeet. He'll sit on your shoulder. What are you doing? Oh, she's taking a picture of the screen. There you go. Somebody's coming down the stairs. Is that Rowan or is that Mom? I can't tell. That's Rowan. Well, come on over and say hi too. Show everybody your new cool shirt. We're talking on the radio show. You got pants on, I hope. Do you have underwear on? Pants? Oh, shoo. No. That'd be your mom. No.
Olsen.
Yep. So, do you know how much you look like your mom? Both of you?
Yeah.
Look at them. Don't they look like their
mom?
Hey,
Ro. That reminds me, I need to go buy paper towels this morning.
I need a suitcase by April.
Don't be demanding. That's a gift.
It's just sitting right over there.
Too.
You don't need a
You
suitcase.
got a suitcase.
Well, I'm going to Illinois in April, so.
Okay, well, you'll have it before that.
I need a suitcase too.
Here, by the way, we're talking about AI. So I kept plugging into AI, Pharaoh of the Exodus. It couldn't do Pharaoh. Couldn't figure it out. It showed me all these. They almost looked Aztec. All this gold headdress stuff and jewels. And so I kept putting in criteria. Historical, 18th dynasty, 1400s BCE. And I kept doing that. And it kept giving me the same stuff. Then I tried chariots. Pharaoh on his chariot, and it would show like a big stone-carved horse with a stone-carved cart with big stone-carved wheels and like the Sphinx head in a chariot. And I'm like, is AI really smart or not? And I tried that over and over again in different criteria, couldn't get it. So I did a couple of them, and I finally got Amenhotep II. And so I got some stuff, and it kept looking like, I don't know, like an actor like Brad Pitt playing Pharaoh of the Exodus. And I'm like, you put in the criteria. Less
They didn't
white.
put Obama's face in there?
I put North African. Then it came out looking very black and very dark. And I said, no, it's too dark. They're North African. So I kept trying, and I got a pretty good look for Amenhotep II, but none of the collar didn't work, the collar jewel, the headpiece. So I added pieces to it. So I spent, granted, way more time creating a graphic for a show, which is gone in a day. It's like birdcage liner. It's like newspaper, Today's newspaper is tomorrow's birdcage liner.
Yeah.
And so I plugged in at one point. I plugged in Moses, and it came up with a pretty good looking guy for Moses. Now, keep a couple of criteria in mind. Moses, raised in the royal courts of Egypt, went to the school of the nobles.
I want to watch Megan.
Was a guy that go ahead and go then. Go watch Megan. You can go watch on the TV in Mom and Dad's bedroom.
No, it's scary.
Okay, then be quiet.
You're weird.
And so I put in these criteria, or I'm thinking, remember Moses, it said when he died at age 120, it said he lived to.
Yeah.
That it said, in his eye was not dim and his natural force was not abated, as it says in the Old English. Meaning he was still pretty sturdy and had good eyesight. And, but then also remember this, he's raised as a hereditary crown prince of Egypt. He's got all these royal titles. Even when he runs off after murdering the Egyptian, he goes down to Ethiopia, then goes to Midian, somewhere out in the sun, and he becomes a sheikh. Hey, guys, this is not the place to do that. If you want to be here, you can contribute. You're all fidgety and bickery.
Dad,
so I'm still talking. You have to save it. And so he goes out to Midian, and what happens? I think he becomes what's tantamount to a sheikh out in a leader. His father-in-law Jethro was the high priest out there, and so he becomes a sheikh. And then he's called to go back at age 80 to Egypt. And unlike the movies, which he aged 40 years and he had the white hair with Charlton Heston because he saw God in the burning bush. And only really a year had passed in the movie. In the Bible story, 40 years. So he's a pretty established shepherd. Hey, if you're going to do that, I'm going to have you get down. Because that's very distracting. And so all of those criteria, thinking of that.
Hey, Bob Saget.
I started looking for, is Bob Saget in here? There he is.
His name's Bing Bong. And Dad.
Bob Saget.
Dad, other people want to talk.
Well, you're going to have to wait till I'm done with my topic because it's my show, not yours.
It's my show.
Oh, I see. Olsen. That's another Olsen trait. And so I put in these criteria and I wanted to come up with a decent looking Moses. You got to think the guy returns to Egypt at age 80. He's powerful. He said in the story, I can't speak in public. That was an excuse. We all know he could speak in public from the story. So he returns to Egypt. So I got this powerful looking Moses. I don't think he was a guy in bathrobes and bed sheets, and beards and sandals.
Rowan.
If you're going to be disruptive, you'll have to go elsewhere.
She's blocking me.
She's blocking me. It's my close-up.
Don't upstage your sister.
So here you go. So I've got the Amenhotep II that the AI created and that I messed with a little bit. And then I've got Moses, who I messed with a little bit. Because he did things like, AI sometimes, it's like his beard is full of gold things. I took him out.
Speaking of beard, I woke up with mine braided this morning.
Here, look at this. So this is what it came up with for Moses when I entered.
I think he's a little dark for Moses.
Maybe, but remember, he's Middle Eastern.
But I like the Pharaoh.
I think that's pretty accurate.
I don't think of the Pharaoh with a mustache normally, but
no, I don't think he would have had facial hair at all. But
then why'd you do him with facial hair?
I didn't. So,
maybe I have it mixed up. Is the guy with the beard Moses?
You think you're funny, don't you? I think you're clever. Is that your idea of comedy? So anyway, that's how eventually, after all the criteria I put in, Middle Eastern sheikh, Moses the Egyptian, as there's been one book written. Remember where they all lived, what they looked like, what people would have looked like back then. And so we got this for Moses. I said, I'm taking that. I like that. And look at him here. If this is Moses, by the time he's a sheikh like this, what's he look like there? Like he's about 60 to 70 years old?
Yeah.
And if he's, natural force not abated and his eye is not dim at age 120, what did he look like at 80? So I thought this worked pretty well. He's a pretty powerful dude going back to Egypt. And then you got Amenhotep II, who's like 23 to 25 years old at the time. And a young pharaoh, a kid who grows up and has everything and is the leader of his country. And so I thought these two together as AI generated images. And all I had to do with Moses was take all the little gold fringy things. They weren't really even braided into his hair. It just had it like coming down from his sideburns, these gold bands. And I thought, I don't like that. And I took those out. And that's all I really did to him. The pharaoh, I messed with his face a little bit. I didn't put the snake, the cobra, up on his crown. Nor did I put what the heck do they call those? The cloth out, the typical Egyptian.
I know what you're talking about.
So I've got him in the crown there, and the collar he's wearing, iffy.
I don't like the collar,
the red and blue beaded, thing that they wore, and because it was usually beaded. This is gold, but I thought that kind of worked for AI, and I thought, man, that's a pretty cool picture. If I put the two together and show them juxtaposed against
the
each
problem
other.
with AI nowadays is they're just not taught proper history, so he doesn't know where to go with it.
That's it. Well, AI, I thought with AI, if AI is working properly, shouldn't it be able to, in an instant, draw on all encyclopedic published information about these characters? It's like the other day, I was doing a logo for a client, and I was trying to get
AI is too woke, and this is Judeo-Christian sort of a thought. So
I was trying to get an AI generated pickle. All right, a pickle, dill pickle, and everything I got was a goofy. What was the kids' biblical concepts were being taught with the fruit? Animated characters. I can't remember what they called that. Abby and Brent watched that.
Vegetable Patch or no?
What is that, folks? You know what I'm talking about?
They had all the vegetables that were characters that ran around and did biblical stuff. I know what you're talking about. They did a pirate one.
Bob the Tomato. And where is my hairbrush? Where is my hairbrush? Where is my hairbrush? That's one Abby and Bryn used to sing from that. What did they call that series of videos, folks? VeggieTales. There. Thank you, Matthew Sainsbury. Font of information. And so every pickle
Matthew,
they gave me, I said realistic, photographic, cinematic, ultra realism, and everything, and it would give me a cartoon character with eyes and a mouth, and every single one of them. And I'm thinking, the service that we use when we do stuff, it's got things that it withholds. Like you can't say sex, you can't say naked, you can't say things like that
because it doesn't want people making AI porn.
Because that's what people will be doing, be making AI porn. Is pickle too suggestive a word? Because every single one came off as a cartoon. Every single criteria. It's food. But if I put tomato in, I'll get a tomato.
You also can't say eating a baby.
You can't say eating. How do you know this? Look at that grin. You can't say eating a baby. How do you know that?
Eating what?
A baby.
Oh.
So
anyway, I had a dream last night.
It was Moses and Amenhotep. I can get rid of that.
I was in this Viking encampment. We're talking, and these maidens came up and braided my beard. I woke up this morning, my beard was braided.
Nice. Oh, nice.
So I must have braided it myself in my sleep. I don't remember doing it. I got up, I go to the John, I look in the mirror afterwards, and I'm like, what? I didn't go to bed with it braided.
How did I get a beard?
I remember the dream, but it never dawned on me that it actually.
It's like, what the heck?
Wow, Jon Stewart has really aged. He just flashed up on the TV. Holy crap!
Yeah. Here, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can show you some of these images. This is just crazy.
Maybe I should use. I'm working right now. I've been getting the next set of paintings ready on Photoshop. Laying out my composites so I can project them onto my canvas and get them laid out. And maybe I should try AI and just tell AI what I'm looking for and see what it comes up with.
Hold on.
It might be faster.
Just share my screen. Select a tab. That's new. Let's see.
I like what I'm putting together for the sacking of York. I found a background interior image from York, and I've set that in the background, and then I've got a mid-ground building, and then a foreground building, and then I've got Vikings in combat from various different imagery, and I'm dropping them in around the streets to create that havoc and people running and all that kind of stuff. It's probably going to be the most intensive painting that I've had to deal with yet.
Interesting. You got it started yet?
I haven't started the painting. I'm working on the composite still.
I like Jon Stewart, by the way. But yeah,
I used to really like Jon Stewart. Then he got super, super political in his show.
Really political in his show. And you know, I don't mind anybody being political.
I don't mind that. I guess it's not the politicalness of it. It's the he drank the Kool-Aid big time for a long time with. Yes. And now he's come back from that and said, maybe not so much. He's like Bill Maher. So Bill Maher also has Bill Maher. You people have gone too far to the left. You're wacko.
Mm-hmm.
You know, during the whole stuff with the ISIS and all that, and he's like, you know what? Sometimes, you know, when you're pointing something out, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be anti-Muslim or Islamophobic or whatever to point out the fact that Islamic terrorists are creating this problem.
Right.
You know,
doesn't take
as we were discussing
like I said,
the other
common
day.
Sense party.
There's nothing wrong with the Chinese people, but the Chinese government right now is completely whacked.
That's what I said.
The same with the Russian people. There's nothing wrong with the Russian people, but the Russian government right now is completely whacked.
Completely whack. And yeah, it's the CCP in China, and it's not the people of China. I think the people of China are just like the people of the United States. They want to live their lives. They want to live it peaceably.
They want their children to grow up happy and healthy. I don't think there's a Chinese population in general doesn't want to see the dominion of the United States. It's like they don't care. It's like, leave me alone to do what I like to do with my life and my family. So there's that. Yeah.
Oh, Matthew, sorry to hear you're battling the flu. We've got something going on here too. So hopefully you can come out on top of that battle. So I think Raini avoids this show now. I think she's up there. I hear her walking around, but she doesn't want to have to go put on makeup or get your. I'm like, I don't care. Come on down. She doesn't care. I don't care, but she cares. So, and she, you know, Raini, she's minimalist with makeup. She puts on a little eyeliner. That's about it. Lash stuff, and that's all she needs.
Why don't you just take a Sharpie and do it for her, and you don't have to do it like once a month?
There you go. I could. She'd look Egyptian.
Give her the eye of Ra.
Yes. No, she got pretty eyes. I like what she does with the eye makeup. It accentuates the beauty of her eyes, but her eyes are beautiful without it. I'm not one of those stupid guys who go, I'll take you with or without makeup, which I would. But, the stupid response from guys, I think you're beautiful without it. She is, but if she wants to wear makeup, wear makeup.
Yeah.
If I could get away with wearing eyeliner, I'd wear eyeliner. It looks a little too
My
fruitcakey.
professional experience in makeup, I would say that most women use way too much foundation.
Probably. For me, it would just all get in my whiskers and stuff.
I mean, foundation is great when you're on stage and you're under all the lights and stuff because it literally washes your face out. That's what it's there for. But I think in most cases, lipstick and eyeliner is all most women need.
Yep. That's what Raini does. She does a little bit of lip.
But if they want to accentuate,
she doesn't even put on color. She puts on either clear lipstick. It's not glossy like, oh, look at my wet lips. It's not like that. It's
when I was in the 7th grade, I didn't think there was anything sexier than strawberry gloss. I'm just saying.
You wore strawberry gloss? Yeah,
No, not me, but on my girlfriend.
When I was in the 7th grade, I didn't think there was anything sexier than wearing strawberry gloss. And they went with my red pumps.
Yeah. Because I'm a royalist.
Strawberry gloss.
I always
when
wore
we were
red heels.
in junior high school, middle school.
I'm a royalist. I always wore red heels.
And girls in high school, not even high school, it was junior high school. They always wore the fruity scented lip gloss.
Yeah.
Cherry,
cherry, strawberry, raspberry.
And they had these bright, glossy lips that smelled like
a fresh basket of fruit.
Kiwi fruit. So, anyway. So Raini, she likes to, and she hasn't gone to get her hair colored or anything or done in ages, and because she's got long streaks of gray, and she's getting a little mildly salt and peppered, and yeah, it's hot, and she's like, I don't want to spend the money, and frankly.
Again, Sharpie. She can just take those out one strand at a time.
I told her, I said, I can color it for you. So, her getting her hair done is I go get my hair cut from Carl, who is basically Floyd the barber from Mayberry. I go to Carl, cost me $16 now. He's just raised his prices. $13 for years. Now it's 16. Inflation.
Damn near doubled it.
Yeah, damn near. But I'll pay $16 to get my hair cut. And he just did it the other day. And Raini to go and get her hair done. That's a trim on her hair. And doing the color and stuff like that. You're damn near pushing $175 to $200 anymore. And I'm glad to do that for her if I've got the cash. It's like, go do it. Or she does a couple of massages. She's got enough to do it. Just don't even tell me what you're in. Go do it. But she doesn't want to spend the money because money's tight. Silver it is, says Morgan Snow. Morgan Snow, you got a great pirate name. And then you say, silver it is. Morgan Snow. Queen of the high seas. And my hair isn't white or gray. Silver it is. Arr.
So, I hear that. Silver.
Silver it is. I heard him bark. Had no idea he was outside, says Beth Kirkham. I missed something there. Sorry.
Yeah. They were talking about the dog.
It's going to be a coyote snack. Oh, yeah. So quiet and small. Yeah, Raini used to watch our dogs. Like Lucy when she was little. She didn't want her to go outside in the country because we had eagles that would nest in the tree in our yard. Up on the property.
Yep.
And she's like, I don't want her running around without supervision. That eagle's going to swoop down here and pick her up. And they would when she was.
Do you remember the time at festival that back when we had the falconer out there, John, and he would tell people, do not bring small animals to this show.
Yeah.
And
you have a chihuahua in your purse? Close the purse.
Yeah, and he's doing his falcon show, and he had one of the eagles. It might have been the gold eagle out, and all of a sudden that eagle saw something, and took a bank and went into a dive and came back up with a small dog.
Nice.
The audience is freaking out, and he's like, "And this, lady and gentlemen, is why you do not bring small animals."
How did he resolve that one?
It took it outside.
It killed the chihuahua and ate it.
No, it went down. It landed, but it landed outside the fence there at I'm trying to think what gate that is. The participants gate there up by the Falconer show.
Yeah.
And it was, as soon as it disengaged enough to do something, when it got on the ground, the dog took off, and John was blowing his whistle and went back in the air and came back to John. And they did find the dog. Had some minor damage because of the claws, but
yes,
talons. But yeah, it could have been much worse.
Looking for something here. Oh, that's not the one.
Don't let your small children run around out in the country either when you have eagles around.
Yes.
There's great video footage. Mom and the kids are playing in the backyard.
Yeah.
Eagle swoops down out of nowhere and picks up a toddler by the shoulders and starts going up. But mom is able to get there quick enough to grab a hold of the legs, and they pulls the child free.
I know, I've seen videos. Is that true though? Is that real?
Yeah, they'll do it.
Will an eagle or a vulture, a hawk, or whatever pick up a child?
Big enough. Yeah,
I think that's a little too weighty, isn't it?
No, it's not. Not at all.
Wow. That just seems, I don't know. That seems pretty heavy to me.
Those are big birds.
Yeah. I suppose when they have a 6-foot wingspan.
Yeah, that's a big bird.
'Tis.
We have quite a few eagles around here, and I see them pretty regularly feeding along the highway.
We have a lot of big eagles out here.
Yeah. They'll take off with a large raccoon without any problem. A large raccoon and a small baby or a toddler, not much difference in weight.
There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Hang on. I'll show you something. Oh, it's tiny. What the heck? So I saw Matthew was talking about something, and he was talking about Cambyses, the lost army of the Persians in 525 BCE. And John Ward and I had proposed a book on that for our publisher.
Oh.
After we did Exodus, the lost armies of Cambyses. And so the publisher turned us down on that one. They said, nah, it's a little too heady. Why don't you do one on the 10 most exciting places to go in Egypt? So it turned from being a research book and history to a travel log.
Yeah.
And so we were going to work on that. We thought that would be fun. At first, we were kind of like, I'm writing a travel book.
You know what you do? The 10 most exciting places. You pick all the places where the Muslim Brotherhood were.
There it is.
Now, if you don't get killed at this hotel, then you should try and get to such.
John said, I remember when we were in Egypt and we had the tour group that we took in 2014, and somebody was a little panicky on their phone. We're driving from Sarabat el Khadim in the Sinai back to Cairo, and so we're driving up through the Sinai, up along the Red Sea.
Yeah,
and
like you do.
And it's pretty quiet out there. You know, it's not very populated. And somebody said, oh, my God. It was somebody from New York. Oh, my God, she said. There was an attack on a tourist bus by ISIS. And John very calmly says, oh, yes, I saw that. And he says, that's in the north of the Sinai. He says, if you don't want trouble, you don't go where trouble is. We're in central Sinai. So, and they're all like, oh my God. And and don't panic, we tell them.
My favorite story is the one where you're in the hotel while they're having the uprising in the square.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was the first time I went. That was 2013. And we were in a little hotel, the Capri, local hotel in a building downtown Cairo. And we're a block off of Tahrir Square, which is kind of the main place you see in all the news in Egypt and all the uprising and all the activity and stuff. So in Tahrir Square, we go out in the car. Well, we saw marching down the street a bunch of people with ISIS flags and stuff. And so we went out in the car. We were going to go to the Cairo Museum. And we went to the Cairo Museum. They were all closed, all locked up. We had a close today. And
we are going to the demonstration. You should come.
Yeah. You come.
You could be the guest of honor.
So we're driving by, and down one of the blocks, you see a burned out car still smoldering. And John says, well, he says, He says, that's the first time he ever said it. Scotty, if we don't want trouble, we don't go where trouble is. So I say today is a good day to head to Luxor. We were going to do that two days down the road. So we decided to hop a plane and get to Luxor that day. 500 miles south.
When are you going to be done? Because soon we're going to watch Megan with the family.
2 hours. 2 hours.
You want to watch Megan with the family?
Yeah, when Mom gets up, we're going to start.
Who's Megan?
It's the new horror movie with the android.
I know.
Oh, okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, wait. I'll be done in a while. Tell Mom as soon as she comes down and joins me on radio, the sooner we can be done.
But it does have swear words like every horror movie.
Yeah, swear words. Don't hear those around here.
Yeah. I don't think they'll say anything in Megan that you haven't heard.
Yeah, that the Mom doesn't say every day.
Yeah.
So.
Love you, honey bunny.
So we can get ready for Megan. We're watching a horror movie called Hose.
Hosed. That's us.
Hose.
That's the new zombie movie. You're living in a zombie apocalypse? You're hosed.
Hose.
Hose.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. So what's it about? Like a killer attack? A hose comes to life?
Garden hose?
I don't know, but I can tell you about Megan.
Okay, well, we'll see that one.
No, I want to tell them too.
Okay. Tell them.
Megan is an animatronic that kills people.
She's an animatronic that kills people.
I would call her an android, but whatever. Yeah,
I'd call her an android. Yeah, it makes you happy to go to Disney World.
Yeah.
So, the Hall of Presidents turns on you.
He must kill all the humans.
That's right. So they
30 years ago.
There's Sunday afternoon fare. I heard it kind of sucked, but the movie. But I'm not into that kind of movie anyway. It's like, oh boy. Now I can be drawn into them if they're well done. So, what did I watch recently that I thought was good? Oh, third season of Picard, Star Trek Picard.
Oh,
third season.
I've seen the first
I read this somewhere and I heard it and I watched it and I agree. They're only on episode 3 so far, but they said
I haven't seen episode 3 then.
Season 3 so far. Well, the person who was critiquing it said around Thanksgiving time this last year, they got to review the whole season.
Yeah.
And he said, it is by far the very best single season of Star Trek since all the new Trek started coming out, 30 years.
I saw that review.
And so I'm watching it. And I'm loving, by the way, the Picard and Riker interactions.
Yeah.
Really good.
Because it's like you and I. It's people that have been together for so long.
For so
they
long,
know what
they
each
know each other.
thinking.
They're friends.
Yep, they can make little quips. Yep.
And so, so far, really well done. I like the guy who you thought was going to be an asshole jerk, and still kind of is, Captain Shaw of the Titan.
Yep.
What a jerk! What an asshole! But you know what? He's right.
Okay, so let me jump in here real quick and comment on Shaw while you're there. This morning, so because of my work with Mano and Raini, who played Ichib on Voyager and stuff, one of my Twitter pages is just a bunch of inside Trek people because of that show that we were working on, and so he's apparently on that. I didn't realize he was on that, but he put this post up.
A lot younger.
He is, but he put a post up because apparently the fan base is all over his case.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard the fan base absolutely
apparently he's been getting just slammed with people because he's
reading the script the way it was written.
Yeah, he's playing his part properly, right?
He's doing a great
you're
job.
such an asshole, blah 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 blah, all this stuff, and he's like, just bring it. And I said, dude, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're playing your part the way it was written, and I think it's awesome. You're doing great. Ignore all the naysayers and just do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Your character's awesome.
Yeah,
and I don't have a problem with it. It's like, why people get so bent out of shape about characters that are fictional characters that they watch on TV, and it's like they're so emotionally involved with. But it reminds me of when I was younger. I mean, Rowan's age younger.
Yeah.
And I'm staying at my grandma's house. My grandma's friend and her daughter came over, and her daughter it was probably in her 30s at the time, so obsessed with the soap operas of the time, as if all these people were real people that she knew, and would just go on and on and on about them, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, no, those are just actors reading scripts, right?
Yeah. You do know this, right?
Because even at 10, I was already involved in theater and stuff, and I'm just like, lady, they're just playing parts on TV. They're not real people. It's like,
and I thought that this guy did a fantastic job playing a character, a captain of a ship. So you got to think, if you think within the Bible of the series,
and everything,
what am I looking for? The universe, the Star Trek universe. If you look inside that, you can't make captain if you're an idiot.
Well, you know what? So, to me, he was no different than Kirk.
No different.
When somebody would come on a Commodore or something and try and take control of the ship, excuse me, it's my ship, my crew.
My ship.
I'm not going to let you risk them for some stupid fool's errand.
That's it. And so Shaw is the same way. Yeah. And he's the captain of one of the high-tech new ships. And now we're talking within the mythology, of course, of Star Trek. And so he's a great character, and but he's a badass. He's a hard ass too. He's like, I don't think so, kind of guy. He's the not on my ship. Hey, let me remind you, you're an admiral. Yes. You're visiting the ship. Yes.
You're retired.
You're another captain. You're visiting my ship. But you know what? I'm the captain of this ship. So shut the fuck up.
I don't care if you used to be the captain of this ship. I'm the captain now.
Yep. And that's what makes the character good. And he gets onto their ruse. He goes, I don't care who you are. If you're an admiral and a captain, he said, that doesn't mean you get to pull bullshit on me. No, get off my bridge. No, I'm not doing what you're asking. This is the guy, by the way. This is the actor. Here he is.
Yep.
That's the guy playing Captain Shaw. And
who kind of reminds me of Joaquin Phoenix.
Kind of, in a way. He played a Romulan or a Vulcan or something on one of the old episodes.
Oh, really?
Something. Yeah, I saw a picture of him as in Vulcan. He didn't even look like him. So, yeah, he was. He's
Ellery,
an
are you gonna do Dad's
interesting
makeup?
character. Oh, here he is. Is that him? Captain Picard's Captain Shaw actor reflects on guest starring. Oh, he was in Star Trek Enterprise. And it looks like he's playing a. It looks like a Vulcan. I don't think it's a Romulan because Romulans always had the weird foreheads in the.
Pop a picture up there, and I'll tell you what it's from.
Here, I'll show you. And it's from the show Enterprise.
Right. I only say that because I watched that more than you did, I think.
Yeah, I didn't. I never saw all of Star Trek Enterprise. Believe it or not, I was a Trek fan and I didn't see all of it. Here, let's save this. This is. Are
you going to do Dad's eye makeup?
No.
Ellery?
This is all my makeup.
That's all her makeup.
I have way more though.
Let's see.
I can't
I'll show you what he looked
very
like
much at
in
all.
Enterprise, and maybe you'll be able to place him, Uncle Dave. Let me load him up here.
I'm gonna show everyone my makeup stuff.
Okay, you can in a minute. I'm doing important stuff.
This is important.
Oh, I see.
I'm sure it is, sweetheart.
I know it is. Yeah. Okay, why isn't that showing up? Not quite sure why. Let's make sure I saved it properly. Yes, I did.
And I have the cutest brushes ever.
Cutest brushes ever.
I just recently got like a powder blush makeup brush for blending the fog. That's what I used for the fog to lay it in lightly, and it worked really well.
Oh, one of these, like something like a brush like that.
Yeah.
That's nice for blending.
That picture down.
Oh wait, I got to put up another one first. Here he is. There it is. Same guy.
Oh yeah. That there was an episode where they encountered a group of Vulcans who were exploring emotions. And I think that's from that episode.
Oh.
There was another time where they were on a planet. The Dr. Phlox was going there to get some information. Anyways, there were a group of Vulcan doctors at this symposium, but I don't think that's from that one. I think he was on the ship where they were exploring emotions.
Did Enterprise only go 4 seasons? I thought it was longer than that. Field Guy says I watched all 4 seasons of Enterprise.
Yeah, I think it was only 4. They were preparing for a new season when the plug was pulled.
Yeah, it's too bad. It was good from what I could see.
Yeah.
Well
so what happened is they knew going into that 4th season that they were going to get canceled. So they did sort of a wrap up to the storyline to get around to where they wanted to end it, but they basically cut a season out of what their plans were. They had a whole different season planned.
All right. Ellery wants to show you her makeup kit.
Let's see it, dear.
So these are my brushes.
Very good brushes. I like them.
Here, let me see. I want to see one of them.
No!
I just want to see what it felt like.
Feels good, and you felt it.
Yes, I did. If it feels good, I felt it.
I'm also gonna do my
Where's Mom?
This is my baby tint. It's a blush. It's rose.
It's a blush. It's a rosé.
It's rose. And then I'm also
No, I prefer a Tawny Port.
This is hard with that camera.
It's even harder.
One more.
If I bumped your chair. Oh.
No.
One more, and then blend them out.
It's really hard. I'm just gonna do 2.
Okay.
Should make
I'm
a
going
little
to get
triangle.
a new webcam one of these days for this show. That's a little bigger, a little more intensely. That's not the word I wanted.
It's hard working out
high
the
resolution.
camera because it flips it around
and one
backwards.
that you can zoom in and zoom out.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a couple of cams set up.
Yep.
I can switch from cam to cam.
Have we put the lights up yet?
Okay, you use that brush.
Ooh.
Move a little closer. There you go.
Stop.
I'm just watching how you do it. So I can do it in the future for myself.
No.
Yep. And downward a little. Blend downward and off to give a little swoop.
Little
Kind of
back
like a
and forth.
Nike swoop on your cheek.
I like the red dot on your nose. She came home last night with Scotty and Raini came in after going to the
Your
store.
dad has too much
What do you
rouge on
see
his
that
nose.
looks different on my face? And I'm like, and I could see that she put on eyelash stuff, and it was blue. It was pretty cool looking.
I'm gonna put that
And
on.
it was subtle. So it was subtle rather than so she looked really good.
Little sweet swirls.
I agree, Field Guy did see the ending of Enterprise. That
Does this look good?
kind of dumb.
Little swirls.
Yeah, looks really good. Little swirls, like Uncle Dave says.
And
It's like
then
painting.
this scam. This is a scam. It's supposed to be pink, but it's black.
But it's black. Oh, wait. What's it say on the jar or on the tube? Does it say the color of the tube, or does it say, here, hold on. Power lash volume.
And then it says,
It says
That was
mascara.
it's
Mascara is
supposed
usually
to be
black, isn't
pink.
it?
Yeah, mascara is usually black.
Here you go.
You can't
But it
judge
was
a
supposed
makeup
to be
by its
pink.
tube,
There was
sweetie.
a label at the bottom, and it said pink. But
You
this
can't judge a makeup by its tube. You have to
That's
look
right.
at the.
And all you guys
This
out
is
there,
my blue one.
this is makeup talk for guys. And you know, if they say, "Oh, you can't wear makeup because you're a man," you just say, "Well, you can just go blow it out your ass because I will wear makeup if I wish to, and so can you."
Back in the day, in the 80s, Dave wore eyeliner because it was the
What
80s.
that does to your eyes. That's pretty cool. Wow, you watch Mom pretty good. She taught you well. Look at how you do that.
For 8, that's really awesome.
Wow. Why is it black? Because your eyelashes are black, Field Guy. Duh.
Duh.
I have this
Duh.
liner. This,
Then you take the
liquid
little liner and you
I like when Mom does the little liner. She does the liner here and in here and on top of her lashes, and it looks really good. Makes her, as she does that, I go, whoa, hello. Daddy likes the eyeliner.
This thing spins too.
Excellent logic, Field Guy.
Okay.
What was the name of the Vulcan Chicken Enterprise?
T'Pol.
T'Pol. Oh, that's right. All I remember is some shower scene with her.
Oh yeah.
They're showering. She and Chip or whatever
Chip.
his name is. And they're showering off after an expedition. All the germaphoids from the planet's surface or something. And they're casually in there having a conversation, taking a shower together. It's like, what, in the 23rd century, do people not like naked people anymore? She's pretty hot for a Vulcan. Jolene Blaylock. That's right. It's Blaylock, not Blayclock. I think. And, you know, they showed almost everything you can actually see on TV without showing everything you can actually see.
Yeah.
And,
this is not a video. I want this work.
because you're doing it for a radio show, a podcast. Got a big blotchy spot up here.
Yeah.
Got to blend that better.
Circles, little.
It's like
circles.
painting.
Well, it's like doing makeup.
Yeah, there you go. It's like doing makeup. Well, we're down to 4 watchers, so I think we've lost a lot of people somewhere along the way this morning. So we had a lot more than that earlier.
This is true.
Was it the
And
Star
2 of
Trek
them are
dog
me.
or the kid dog? We don't know.
I don't know. It's morning. It's Sunday morning.
It's Sunday morning.
It is what it is.
Oh, UPN. Yeah. What was the?
Well, they were the
curious.
The network that was gonna, the Paramount's network, but that just didn't pan out for them.
Right. Now it's Paramount Plus, so everything works on Paramount Plus.
Hey,
what? We're still on radio. I'm looking for something.
Can they see me?
Yeah.
They can still see you. You're half the screen. You look
I'm
pretty.
looking for something.
You done look pretty, girl.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Big old smile on your face.
Stop bumping me!
I'm not doing nothing.
Relax.
Yeah, relax.
Dad, look.
What? That's amazing, baby.
Ew, what are you doing?
She's doing her makeup.
No, what are you doing?
Showing Star Trek pictures.
Why?
Because we like Star Trek.
What are you doing?
No, we don't.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
The only way we can move to Ohio is if we buy this $6,000 house. And because it has 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, and I get my own bathroom and the master
For
bedroom.
$6,000?
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
It's a little fixer-upper.
It's right in East Palestine.
It has a pool.
It's in East Palestine next to the railroad track. You love it. You love it.
That's right.
Dad, it has a pool.
It has a pool too, for $6,000.
It's got a pool full of chemicals.
I mean,
Or it's
millionaires.
it's like the cement pond.
Yeah.
Ew.
They had yet another train derailment this morning in
Yet
Ohio.
another. Yeah.
Ew.
Ew.
What you're doing is weird.
Why is it weird?
Because you're weird.
No, we were talking about
How weird you are.
daughter of mine. We're talking about Star Trek, and then we were talking about how there was one of the episodes of Enterprise where they showed an awful lot, almost nudity.
Yeah, you're weird.
And so
I did it good for my first time.
So I'm uploading a
I think it
picture
looks
that's
lovely,
still
Ellery.
from that scene in Enterprise with Jolene Blaylock playing the Vulcan to Paul.
Which lip gloss should I use?
And here it is.
Icy and then just this clear one.
I'd go with the icy.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Nope, you're using
There
the
it
wrong
is.
one.
There's
I
to
know.
Paul,
That's
the Vulcan.
way more than you would expect for TV.
Way more than you'd expect for TV. And
What is that?
so there you go.
You're weird.
That scene was awesome.
Is
Yeah,
there
it
a
was.
bald man crouched down in front of her?
A what?
A bald man crouched down in front of
I
her?
don't know. Yeah, probably. But when you think about it, that's an awful lot of flesh for primetime television.
Yep.
And this was what, 10 years ago when that was done?
This is actually not a shower scene. This is
There was the shower scene, and then
I was
there's
gonna
this
say
one.
this
This
is
one
him
showed more
working
flesh,
she's teaching him Vulcan neuro touch things for like a massage type
and I'm sure
kinda
he's
like
like
an acupressure thing.
sure, giggity. I'll learn that.
Giggity giggity.
So teach me. All right.
Not yet.
All right.
Ellery, sweetheart, that looks beautiful.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty heavy
Bet you were
duty
done
on the
with your
corners
eyes.
of your eyes. That looks almost costumey as opposed to wearing out.
That's the style now,
shopping.
baby. Scotty, that's the style now. It looks good. I like it.
Yeah, you're beautiful.
How you get a picture?
She's looking. Oh, should do a selfie. See, the phone is up on the right there.
It's got an
So
Egyptian.
she's
quality
using it as
to
a mirror.
Yeah.
So. Blend already. That's how I blend my nose. Blend.
Are you blending your nose or picking your nose? What are we doing?
Yeah, what are you doing there?
I'm trying to blend this weird dot on my nose.
So, folks, this is Sunday morning show with
You do
Scotty
your
and
nose
Raini.
like this,
This
sweetie.
is what it's all about.
A white streak down the center and a white dot, like an exclamation point.
There you are.
To catch the highlights.
You look amazing. Oh, no,
perfect. 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 Dad's got too much blush on his nose.
Perfect.
Yes, I do. Yeah, that's not blush. Well, guys, it's only 20 minutes to 11, but I think this little episode of Morning Coffee on Sunday morning is running out of steam.
Well, my coffee's run out, that's for sure.
Bye, I'm done.
Bye, see you.
Cool.
There you go. So,
You say thank you.
yeah. So there it is, guys. All right. So we covered a few topics today. Nothing in any great detail. It'd be nice if Raini could come down. I think she's lost interest in doing the Sunday morning show. She's got other things going on, much more going on. So today they've got to go.
Still miss her in the morning.
They already did yesterday, and they got to go back again today, I think, and cut out derby cars, wooden derby cars for Cub Scout derby racing.
What day do they drop the new Picard episodes?
I don't even know. I just noticed yesterday there was a new one. I think it's either Thursdays or Fridays. So,
and
Strange New Worlds is going to start up again in a couple of months.
Bad Batch is running, so there's
Bad Batch. I've seen a couple of those. Flynn likes those.
Yeah, I like those.
So I'll have to catch up on those with
Mandalorian has started.
Mandalorian, the new season. And I like the ghost shows. Amy Bruni's and Adam Berry's. Is
that the British or the American version?
Why am I slipping on their name?
Is that the British or the American version?
No, the American version. Amy Bruni, the redhead, formerly with Ghost Hunters for years. What's theirs called?
I thought you meant the TV show Ghost.
Oh no. It's Ghost Hunting Show.
Yeah.
What do they call that one? Why am I slipping on what that one is? I watch it all the time. They're in their 7th season.
Expeditions? No.
It's like something with relative. Why am I slipping on that? Why is my brain farting on that?
Is it Ghost Hunters?
Hold on. Now I got to look it up. And no, not Ghost Hunters.
No, but I know which one you're talking about.
Oh, here, hold on. Amy Bruni. It's called.
How's
funny,
your
I can call up her
going,
name, but it doesn't say anything about the series anywhere.
Ellery,
her official website. Contact Kindred Spirits.
Kindred Spirits.
Now that one comes out every Thursday. You can go to Amy Bruni, Amy-Bruni, BRUNI.net to see her stuff. And I've known Amy for years. Got to know her really well doing working with the Ghost Hunters in the magazine. And she was the one that always brought me out to. She had Beyond Reality events. And so she always had me out to speak at her events and read tarot and stuff like that. What do you want?
Does my lip gloss smell good? I feel like.
Yeah, but it's the garlic on your breath that I don't really smell it.
I do.
Oh, I do have to say, my friend Carl, the old barber, cut my hair the other day, and it was after lunch.
Oh, lots of garlic.
I didn't say anything, but it's like, whew, Carl, you had garlic and onions on liver or something for lunch, didn't you? Because he was like, he kind of talks like this, and he's an older guy, and he's just like, and I love Carl, great guy. I mean, he's been cutting my hair for 10 years. And
I have to ask Ellery an important question before she
ask.
What?
How is hockey
Got an
going
important question
for
for you.
What?
How is hockey going for you?
Good.
How is
you
it
like
with your
it?
ankle?
Bad
With the ankle.
Yeah.
She ties up the high skates pretty tight. So, but she has some problems with that, you'd think. And so they're going to fix that. So by, next year she'll be good.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Well, if there's
Katie
no objection out there, hockey.
I think we're going to end early. We're not going to have a Rainy sighting today. And I don't know if she's even up there.
Wait, yeah,
is Mom up?
Yeah.
Go up and tell her to come down for a minute and say hi to the fine people. She only will if she feels she looks
to
good.
Both of us.
Meaning not her hair. I could have yelled up the steps. It's like, hey, go get your sister. Robert! And it's like, I could have done that.
Oh, that's too funny.
Is she coming?
Yeah.
Oh, she's coming down. Oh, I hear her. I hear footfalls. You're going to have to vacate that chair so Mom can sit there.
I'm trying to lower it.
Not just leave it alone. Mom will take care of it. Mom will do what Mom needs to do on that. Hey, beautiful.
I did it high, so you have to.
Here she is. There she is in all her glory.
Good morning, Rainy. How are you?
Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
We only got 4 listeners left. Well, at least showing up in the chat room. So we're about ready to wrap.
Yeah.
So you look beautiful. Are you rested today?
No.
No, not rested.
I feel like I can sleep another 5-10 hours.
I hear you.
I hear that.
What channel is Kindred Spirits on? Says Morgan Snow. It's on.
Oh, rub that around my face.
I pick it up on Discovery Plus. And I think it's probably on network TV, but I don't know. I think they may only. Let me look at her website here again. Kindred Spirits. Let's see what it says.
Be touching all over my face.
Kindred Spirits. Fearless duo Amy Bruni and Adam Berry take on the most emotional and terrifying cases of their careers, which is kind of true. It's a Travel Channel show. It's Travel Channel, Morgan Snow, but you can pick it up if you have Discovery Plus. You can see it on there.
Is that one of the ones Baggins is after?
No, that's Travel. Well, maybe, I don't know.
Because isn't he on the Travel Network?
Yep, that's on the Travel Channel. So I don't know for sure.
He probably doesn't like them as competition.
Probably not, because they're very good.
Yeah,
and they've done some good things, and
I like Zach, but I
do too. I like his show. It's like
I think that's all about ego.
I think there's a little ego wrapped up in there, but I think there's also, I think he's gone way beyond the pale with what he does, and it's probably affected him. And
yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think?
Of what?
Zach Baggins, Ghost Adventures. What do you think about how they do what they do?
I like their show better than Kindred Spirits.
Do you?
I like Mindseed better than both of them.
Mindseed is the best, I think.
I don't remember what you said.
I'm going to pull you this way just a little bit.
When you read the Kindred Spirit thing, but it's like their show is so lame and tame, and it's not,
tame.
It's
for
not,
sure. Shh, bye.
It's not what they said in their header. It's like it's not a scary, intense show. That's just them talking about their experience.
Yeah. What does Discovery Plus cost us?
$6.99.
It's $7 a month if you want to get Discovery Plus. Morgan Snow. Then you can pick up all the ghost hunting shows on there.
Yeah, except Mindseed. That's on YouTube.
Mindseed is YouTube, which is free. You go to YouTube. Mindseed is probably one of the better shows I've seen. And
without violating the NDA, and if it is, just say I can't answer. Is there a name for the show they're working on?
And what do you think of the sunshine today, Dave?
So just say I can't answer that.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I can't even.
I just wondered
what show. I can't even tell you if there's a show or not.
What's the other dude that was on my?
Well, I watched it live.
There's Colton. You talking about the guy with the kind of red beard?
The two shows that just intermixed. We just watched it a few days ago.
Oh, Omar Gosh.
Yeah.
Omar Gosh. That's his.
It's a fun one too.
He's Omar something, but he's he's a cool dude. He's in his early 30s, and he's,
Is his last name really Gosh?
No, that's his. Omar is his first name though, and so he's got his channel is Omar Gosh, and he does ghost hunting. And they on Mindseed they had him come on their show to do. Lucy's licking my bare feet.
I knew a young man who was an acting student of mine whose last name was Case, and his parents named him Justin. He was the second son.
Justin what?
His last name was Case.
Case, Justin Case. Nice. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I went to school with Anita Bun.
Anita Bun.
So.
Come on, get off my chair.
Don't. Get down, please.
Look at my chair's more wobbly than it's ever been. Stop. Oh my God.
This is all day, every day. So
I not to be like I'm highly irritated. I'm gonna step away because it's touching. She's
well.
Touching,
Why don't you?
wiggling,
Why don't you?
jiggling,
You stay
touching.
here. You step away. Give
Well,
Mom. Give Mom a break. Go.
I have food cooking too. I should go check on it.
All right. Well, we've lost Raini. Thank you.
That's okay.
We had her for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's been fun.
See ya. Why don't you go upstairs with Mom?
It's the Scott and Ellery show today.
You're being kind of rude when Mom's on here. So
Love
yeah,
you, honey bunny. Bye bye. See you. Bye bye. Bye bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
That's
Love you.
when
Bye
the
bye.
kids get overwhelming. And it's like they get on Rainey's last nerves. This one does.
See, this is the best part of being Uncle Dave, though. At some point, I can say, "See you, bye bye."
See ya. I'm leaving now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, go watch Mindseed on YouTube. MINDSEED. Mindseed TV, I think is what they
I'll go
have.
check it out. Well,
And
not right.
it's really worth watching. It's really well done. They've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, and I only noticed them this last year, and they've done some pretty phenomenal. You know, they're almost like Baggins has gotten in the sense that their investigations, every time they're out there, they're picking up weird shit that scares the crap out of them. And, you know, from whole houses shaking, it's not earthquakes, but all the doors, all of a sudden, every door in the house starts opening and shutting and slamming really fast. And, you know, as they're doing, so they catch stuff like that. The head coming out of the water.
Yeah.
One of the guys got dragged across the floor. And it's on camera. They caught it on camera. He's going up the stairs, and because he hears a thud, and he's Colton, you all right up there? And he starts up the stairs on his handheld, and you see Colton laying at the top of the steps, and then he's pulled off, and he runs the rest of the way up the stairs. There's no cut, and there's Colton against the far wall, sitting up like, what the fuck just happened to me? And he's like, I'm out. I think he almost quit doing it after that. And so I don't pay for any of that if it's not pirated on YouTube. I don't watch. You don't have to pay for it. Field Guide, they have a free show. It's on their YouTube channel. Now I go in and I support, like I ask people to do for this show. The shows are always free, but you can go in and hit the join button because it throws a little bit of money in my coffers and helps me pay the bill.
You can pay me if you want to.
So you can pay me if you want to. That's what they do. They have a Patreon site. So I go over and I pledged $5 a month. Comes out of my account to, you know, they got 1,000 people doing that. You guess what that adds up to?
Uncle Dave has a Patreon site. It's not listed under Uncle Dave. I think it's just under Dave Potter. I haven't been out there for the longest time. I should go out and check on it.
I've got a Patreon site that I haven't launched. I got stuff all up on it, but it's not really launched. That's going to be for the upgrade to the radio show here pretty soon.
Well, I'm going to use mine I'm refocusing mine from filmmaking to painting.
Yeah. I got to see if Patreon, do I even have a public link? Yeah, there it is. It's Rapscallion Radio. Which I don't know if I'm going to keep that title. See, that's what I get. I get that clot. It's right there and it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't come up. It doesn't do anything.
Have you tried drinking acid to break it up?
I tried that the other day.
Oh, okay.
Here you go. If you go over there, I think you can see my Patreon page. Now, there's not a lot of information there yet. There's a header up. There's the same intro I recorded 2 years ago for Intrepid Radio is up there as a video, but I have nothing else up there yet. Just a little like the about. I put in my about on Rapscallion Radio. I want to know things and I want answers, not just the stuff you're told to believe or a personal interpretation that makes you feel good, but real, solid truth. The things we're taught in our faith, the stories and explanations that are part of the very fabric of our belief systems, seem to have been pirated by politically motivated authoritarians, biased scholars, and practitioners of inculcation. And we're left holding a grab bag of politics, science, religion, metaphysics, and all sorts of other things that have no real mooring in substantive honesty and reality, at least not without digging for those things and thinking for ourselves. As a direct result of having so many unanswered questions and an evolving cynical bewilderment, I rebelled and stepped away from my faith and turned to common sense. Sometimes that simply brings you full circle. Other times, you find yourself squaring the circle. I want facts over faith, solidity over religion, and substance over politics. This podcast is the bastard love child of that weird menage a trois. So come explore with me and join me on this adventure. So that's at my Rapscallion radio page. So I may or may not launch as Rapscallion Radio. I'm not going to ever give up Intrepid Radio, but I'm looking at doing some things over on Patreon, which will merge with my YouTube page. There will be extras on Patreon. I don't know if we'll do it half a show free on YouTube. The other half will be on Patreon. I don't know how I'm going to structure it yet. But I am looking over there, and I'm seeing places where you can look and start doing a search on Patreon, Uncle Dave, and anybody listening. There's only a few of you in here left this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But what I noticed about doing radio on YouTube, if you want to try to make money doing radio, and by the way, I'm not just being a retard capitalist saying I got to make money or it's not worth doing. It's not that. The show I've always believed in. I think I've proven that by now. But the reason I have a join button on my YouTube, it's like, hey, if you show up at every show and you like this broadcast and you've been supporting it for years by being here, throw me $1 a month. There's 3 levels in my join: $1, $5, and $15 a month, depending on what you want to do. And we've got 15 people who've joined the channel. And they pay that $1 to $5. A couple of them do the $15. And it's automatic. It automatically comes out of your credit card until you stop it once a month. And so I ask people, if you like the show, throw in $1 a month.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
If I had 100 people throwing in $1 a month, you know what? That's my internet payment. So that's why I ask for that, because it helps us keep
or 20
producing.
People doing $5 a month.
Yeah, $5 a month, even better. 15, that's for the really hardcore person that really loves the show and wants to see it do things. I've got some people that I don't know if they've joined. They've joined, but they also throw payments at us like almost weekly, and that keeps us afloat. There's some things that some people have done that put a lot of money into this show when they don't have to, and I really appreciate that. And that helps pay bills. Now, when I do a show, the 5 shows I do a week, well, I've reduced that now to 3, but then added the 4th with Robertson. When I do those shows, I am talking on radio to a bunch of people, and you want to interrupt. What do you need?
I want to do an ASMR.
No. Okay. So, trying to remember where I was. And so, anyway, that's why I take the trouble to say, hey, you can subscribe. That's free. The show's always free. But if you want to help support the show, hit the join button. That'll help us on this end. Because you know what? Doing 3 shows a week, a 4th with Wendy, and that's not just I turn on the radio and talk about Amenhotep II. I turn on the radio and I talk about the Fermi paradox. You got to study. You got to research these things. If you want a good show, you got to research things out. So it means something to people. Sunday mornings, I don't do any research for Sunday mornings. Sometimes I'll call up news articles and say, hey, let's talk about this today. But so for the most part, you want a better show? I've had a lot of people say, you should do 2 hours a night. Well, I do with the Captain's Cabin. Captain's Cabin sometimes gets pretty intense. Sometimes it doesn't. But the fact that I've got to work all day long to make a living, then I do the radio show. That's by choice. I enjoy doing it. But if you'd like to see it get better and better, subscribe or join. Because if I could make a living doing radio, could you imagine what this show would be like? Why was Rush Limbaugh so good? Because he did a show 5 days a week. He did 15 hours of radio a week, and but he got paid to do it out of his own following. And it's advertisers. I can't advertise. I can't get advertisers on my show. Did you know that the average ad agency to advertise on a radio show, you have to have an average of 200,000 listeners per episode? I don't have that. I have maybe, according to the radio station, between 5,000 and 6,000 listeners a day. And that's including people that aren't showing up. I don't have 5,000 people in the chat room ever, but people watch this show and people more listen to the show in the audio.
Well, that's actually still pretty good.
That's pretty good, but that's not advertising. I'm not even in advertising territory. So to get official ads, it's ridiculous. To get small ads for people, if say Uncle Dave wanted to advertise his we paint murals business. It's like, what do you got in your pocket, Dave? What can you spare? He'll say, can you do it for $50 an ad? Well, you know what? I've advertised on radio before for the Paradigm Symposium and stuff. Local radio, that cost me $40 per 30-second ad with the package they did up for me. We ran for a week before the symposium doing ads in certain shows at $40 a piece. Those add up really quick. If you do 2 ads during the morning talk show and 2 ads during the Rush Limbaugh show at the time, what is that? That's $160 a day times 7 days or 10 days. You get the idea. And that's a cheap package.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of stuff I can do on here. I prefer PayPal because it's why YouTube is crooked, but maybe the new CEO will fix things. Maybe. Yeah. PayPal takes their fee. So does YouTube. They take their fee. I don't mind that. When Raini and I do T-shirts through our Etsy pages, we sell T-shirts for anywhere from $23 to $30 for a T-shirt, a designed T-shirt. But our cost on those shirts, the shirts themselves cost us like $17. So we usually double the price to get our retail price, but that'd be $34. Who's going to pay $34 for a T-shirt? But we got to pay Etsy $16 to $17 for that shirt. Well, in the long run, it might tell us it's $8 or $9 is our cost, but then there's shipping. They don't give you free shipping. So we usually tack on client has to pay shipping. So you buy a shirt for $28 and you're paying $6 to $8 to have it shipped. This is the way this stuff works. When you see things like this online, we've got T-shirt shop. We've got Raini's tumblers that she puts up. She's got a price of $25 to $30 for her tumblers. Well, they cost us about $11 a piece. And then we've got shipping, but we usually charge shipping extra. So we'll make $10 off a tumbler, a T-shirt, $4 to $10, depending on what. And but you have to sell an awful lot of those to pay your mortgage. So we do all these little things that help that effort out. The radio show would be another thing. I would spend much more time. We'd have a longer show and we'd be doing it every night, probably a little more professional setup than what we have. So that's what I'm hoping the Patreon will do. Share a little secret with you. When I was looking at Patreon, now Dave has one, I have one, but we don't really actively use them. We haven't done anything to really build them up. I saw some radio podcasts that sounded pretty good. Some of them were just like mine. Some of them were a little worse. Some of them were a little better. Guys doing podcasts, not even visual, just audio. Some of them visual. And I saw in there that these guys, and they're people I never heard of before. And I go in and I look at them, different topics from paranormal to news talk or political talk or whatever. And I see, as you're looking them up, it says they have 26,000 followers. You know, not a round number like that, but between 26 and 27,000 followers. And it shows that they're taking in per month, they charge $4 a month for people to watch their Patreon podcast. $4 a month times 26,000 people is how much money?
I don't know. I don't do math in my morning.
Yeah, that's over $100,000 a month coming in on a podcast. And guys that aren't famous all over the world or the country. They're not like Joe Rogan's. They're average, typical guys that have got a good product and they put out a good product. So thank you, Morgan Snow. I appreciate that. And I'm not trying to guilt anyone into adding $1 a month or $5 a month. Don't worry about that. If you can't do it, you can't do it. It's no big shakes. But I appreciate
We're just explaining the realities of life.
Talking about this stuff. I'm just talking about it. I'm not trying to guilt anybody into. It's like I one time, like 7 years ago, donated to the Republican Party when Trump was running the first time. $25, I think I put in. And I get emails every election, and I finally I started getting these because I just don't respond to them. I don't have money to put out. I want to tell them, hey, you guys, fix what's wrong, and maybe I'll have some extra money to donate to you. But I start getting emails that say, I got one the other day that said, we've contacted you now 36 times, and you have not given a single penny. And then it goes into deride me for the guilt trip of, we can't fix this country unless we have your money to get these people elected. And I'm like, I wrote back and I said, if you're going to start guilting me into donating, why don't you fix the system so I have some extra money? I have no money right now. I said, my money goes into supporting my family, which is 5 members of my family. That's where all my money goes. My $20, the 25 I put in 7 years ago, that's now being used to pay for things for my kids. I said, the economy's changed. Fix the economy, stupid, and maybe I'll have money to donate to you. Yeah, I got guilted. And I think it's even in here. Hold on. I'll tell you what the email said.
My Patreon, by the way, is listed under D.W. Potter.
D.W. Potter.
Yep.
Let's see. No,
which is how I sign my paintings.
That's the best. Now, I did you booked a meeting. Hawk Buckman, my podcast. T. Diddle. We have shirt design, guest appearance, blah, blah, final. Now it's not here. Is that it? Nope. Now I can't find it. I can't find the email I sent. It was just in the last week. It's not in any of my recent stuff. So, was it the unsubscribe one? Maybe it was the unsubscribe one. Let's see. It's not that one. And I just wanted to read you the wording of this message. I don't think I threw it out. Maybe I did. So now it's not showing. But I sent them a response, and I'm like, basically, fuck off. If you're going to guilt me, you're not going to get a cent from me anymore.
Yeah.
So that really pisses me off.
There was something I signed up, and I thought I was signing up for a specific candidate site, and it turned out to be a super PAC thing.
Yep.
And I'm like, I really can't believe the candidate would want you to speak to people who support him in the way you speak to me.
Yeah. One of the openings of one of those emails, I guess you're not a Republican anymore. And I wrote back and said, I've never been a Republican. So there. I guess you don't support President Trump anymore. I guess you don't support the conservative cause anymore. It's like, you really think that's going to entice me to donate?
Yeah.
I'm not donating. I don't think I'm even donating to the candidate when they do that.
Yeah.
So that irritates me. It's like, if you want to ask for my money, ask for it. If I don't give it to you, it's because I don't have it. I get the phone calls all the time too, because of that one time I threw $25 at the Republican Party. I think that was when Scott Walker was running in Wisconsin. But I don't remember for sure. But that's all I get. And then they go, this is your last opportunity. We won't contact you again. You know,
Promise?
This is your last chance to do this. And then you'll get an email the next day that says, oh, you're lucky. Somebody came in and filled in the guy. We now are opening this up again. And it's like, has my non-responsiveness meant anything? All it takes is once, and they bug you forever. Ain't that the truth? So I gave somebody an earful on the phone. Nice enough person. And I was nice. I was decent. I was polite. But I said, I said, right now, I said, I donated once because I had some extra cash to do it. I said, now I don't have it. I said, I support everything you're talking about. I said, but I have no extra money. I said, we are tight as tight can be. Well, can we just put you down for a $25 or a $50 donation and we'll take it out of your account later? And I said, no. I said, I don't have any money. I don't have disposable money for donating to anybody. If I'm donating to anybody, my wife said, I'm donating to her. To my wife's Get My Hair Colored fund. So we're not poor by any means. But like a lot of Americans, guess what? We're behind on a lot of stuff. There's some months we have to go, are we going to pay the house payment, or are we going to pay electricity this month? It's just the way it is sometimes. And we're like, 50 million other Americans like us. So that's the way it is, folks. So, yeah, field guy, he says, my mom donated last time around. They call her or send her stuff in the mail almost daily. That's another thing. I look at all the stuff that comes in the mail. I'm like, you guys sure spend an awful lot of. I know the costs of doing this kind of stuff. I've worked for companies that were mail order print companies. Not mail order. What's the other word? Mail shops, where we worked. Now this was a long time ago. The one shop in Lynchburg we worked for, our biggest client was Jerry Falwell and the Moral Majority, because we printed all their letters. There were times, I got news for you folks, in the 80s, if you got any of that stuff, I signed Jerry Falwell's signature once on one of these. We don't have his signature. We finally got it on file so we could just print it on there. But there was one time I had to forge his signature on one of the letters that went out, a fast thing. And so we put out these letters all the time. That's what we did. And so it costs a lot of money. So those, by the way, just to put it in perspective, having the Moral Majority as a client back in the 80s, that supported a print shop full-time with a mail house attached to it with a dozen employees' salaries every month. And that's what it supported. That's how much money we made off the Moral Majority. So there it is. So it costs money. It's 40 years later now. It still costs money. It's just more expensive. So, thing with my radio show, when I ask people if you can, and by the way, anybody listening, I'm not asking you to do it and begging for money. I'm just saying, if you got an extra $1 or $5 or 15, throw it at this show if you like the show. If you can't, that's fine. You know what? I can't donate to everything I want to donate either. The only thing I'm donating right now, I put $5 into the Mindseed show on their Patreon every month because I like what they're doing. And I said, I'll swing the $5 a month. I think I can handle that. So, anyway, the goal of the Patreon, if we rebrand this show and go on there, my intention is to put this show out there in a big way and see if we can't. I'd like to be one of those people with 26,000 subscribers that are paying $4 a month.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
$1 a month would be fine. So heck, 50 cents a month. 50 cents a month. Yeah, and with 26,000 subscribers, you're taking in 13 grand a month. I think that would pay our bills.
Big time.
So big time.
All right, my friend.
You're talking Mindseed has cool gear, Morgan Snow? Yeah, they do. He's a rocker of some kind, or they've got it's the band. That's how they started. Then they started doing ghost hunting. So
well, and they probably played at some clubs that were giving them experiences.
Only 63 cents a day. That's $19.99 a month, said Field Guy. That's right. Yeah, Mindseed. They do have cool gear. And I think Raini and I and a couple of other people, we want to start doing our own ghost hunting thing again and putting up videos like they put up. They're just all handheld stuff. They don't have the big cameras and stuff. Well, I think they got one or two now.
Seriously.
But they've made enough money with their Patreon. They've been able to add a lot of equipment.
The glasses that I was talking about the other day, they're not expensive. They wirelessly connect to a hard drive.
What kind of resolution do they give you?
It's an HD 1080p.
Oh, HD. Nice.
We were able to use it for our 4K editing. So it's all there.
Field Guy says, I see the Shriners commercials every 14 seconds on TV. You know what I started doing on YouTube? I used to watch YouTube. It is almost all I watch anymore, other than Discovery to watch Star Trek.
So many ads.
So many ads. It was like I'd watch a news story, and they would literally, I timed it, they would break every 2 minutes and give you 2 minutes of ads. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? And I said, this is what YouTube does to entice you to buy their membership.
Premium thing, yeah.
I finally, 4 or 5 months ago, I popped for premium. I'll pay $11 a month gladly to watch YouTube unhindered. So I do. I pay $11 a month. So between that and Discovery Plus, and I think we got Disney Plus for the kids, a couple of channels like that, I'm covered. So,
all right.
Cool
I
gear,
have to,
wearable
get
hoodies,
parents out of bed and
love your merch better. Thank you, Morgan Snow.
Start the day.
Yeah, it's now 11:19, and we were going to end early 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, all right, Uncle Dave, have a good day. See you later.
Have a good one.
All right, folks. Thank you for being here. I'm going to wrap this baby up. There's only a few of you still here in the chat room, so that's fine. There's probably a bunch of you still listening that are not in the chat room. Thank you for being here too. I appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow night with Intrepid Radio, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then Tuesday with Wendy and I, Robertson. That's at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. We go a little earlier with that show because in London, where Wendy broadcasts live from, it's 6 hours. Excuse me, 6 hours later. So at 4 p.m. here, it's 10 p.m. there. So that way I don't keep her up late at night. If I had her at 9 p.m. here, it would be 3 a.m. there. So, and I think it's that way until I believe daylight savings time reduces that to 5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, that's all. Full week of shows lined up for you. Thanks for being here. If you want to go take a look at our merchandise, I turned it off. Look at this. You can go right here. There's the banner at the bottom. You can go to Two Loons Tumblers. That's Raini's. And Etsy.com/sonofapatriot. is our shop. I think the word shop might be etsy.com/shop/son of a patriot. You can go find my books at swordintheclay.com. Stuff like that. So come on over and show some love. And we'll see you either way on Monday night. I'm happy to have you. Thanks for being here. So all of you, you have a good Sunday, the rest of your day. It's noon out, a little after noon out east. It's a little after 11 here in the central. It's a little after 9 a.m. out on the left coast. So you got a full day ahead of you. So go have a fun Sunday, do your stuff, and you know what? Live long and prosper.